Hi, thanks
Hello.
for having us. Thanks so much.
We're live.
Yes.
Woo.
Look, now, let me tell you guys something. This is
Yes. What is that?
it's on over there.
Oh.
So give us a minute.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Wait a minute, guys. Hang in there. This is the life of this is how we get out sometimes. There you go.
Oh my God.
All right, you guys can still. Oh, I should be quiet.
Fail. There, fail.
That's all right. We connected up in this piece.
Oh my God.
All right. I'm back. All right. Again, I'm Dee Watkins, and I am here with Angie and Dara. This is a different setup for me. Normally, I do a Zoom call with people, which I'm actually doing now. However, we're in the same place. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? Let me see if anybody's here, first of all. If you are here, you guys come on in, say hello. I think we've got a couple people watching. 1 second, let me get to the comments, all right? As people come in, whatever, if you guys come in, say hello. Let us know where you're coming from. Bring us some good energy and some good questions later on. So you guys introduce yourselves. And by the way, I'm going to say it again. I'm actually in their home. I'm in their home because I'm getting some curry tonight.
That's right.
Anyway, all right, guys. So I'm glad to be here with you guys, seriously. And you can look there. It's fine.
I'm like, oh, look here.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here with you guys. But I want to know, first of all, who are you and how did we meet and how did you guys meet?
Well, first of all, Dee, thank you so much for having us. My name is Dara Thomas.
And I'm the wife, Angela Calvin.
Right? That's right. That's right. We are a married couple, and we are former clients of Dee's, and we had an amazing experience. She gave such great advice that we are kind of taking forward. You put it in our back pocket, as one of the tools that we use kind of going forward to make sure that we are headed to, meeting the goals that we've set for ourselves. So we're really grateful for all the advice that you've given us.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys were great working with. So, what's up with you? What do you do? Where are you? And how'd you guys meet? Okay. If you want to say that. If you don't have to, it's fine. It's cool.
Again, I'm Angela. You can call me Angie. I can go by Angie. Mm-hmm. I'm a UX designer and also a digital illustrator. So I'm currently working right now with a company as a UX designer right now. So you can introduce yourself.
All right. So I'm Dara. I am a senior UX designer and pivoted into the tech space about 5 years ago. I've moved up the ranks to a senior designer, and we're currently working on our own project, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later on. In terms of how we met, through the very traditional OkCupid,
right?
Online services.
Right. I was creeping her page, and she noticed, and
okay.
I was too shy to say anything, and so she left me a message letting me know that she caught me creeping on her page.
I see you stalking.
And we haven't stopped talking since, and November will be 10 years since we've been married. So we've been together for 11 years, and November.
And we were long distance. That's a keynote too. So at the time that we met, I was living in San Diego, California, and she was residing in Toronto, Canada. So we had a long distance, but it was a very quick connection that happened. And so that's how we met.
So you are Canadian?
Yes, I am Canadian. I was born in Montreal, so bonjour
to
everybody. Yes, so I was born in Montreal, but I am culturally I'm Trinidadian. My family still is in Trinidad, and I lived there for a number of years.
Okay.
So when people ask me where home is, It's actually Trinidad, where my mom and sister still reside.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm here, and we're here in Atlanta.
Okay. And so how long have you been in Atlanta?
So it's been about almost since 2019 or 2018. End of 2018, I got here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came first, and she followed after.
Yeah, about 6 weeks later.
Yeah,
I got here at the
so-
beginning of 2019.
All
My
right.
family
Yeah.
lives here, so
But we were in San Diego before that for 3 years. We got married in San Diego, and we were there. Yeah.
Oh, so you have kind of bopped around a little bit.
yes,
A little bit,
a little bit. That was our main when we met. So like I said, San Diego, she came and moved to where I was, and then we relocated here. My immediate family lives here in Atlanta. All my family is more on the East Coast. I'm originally from New York, and then we have family in Virginia and Philly and
All over.
all over on this
you
side.
guys are spread out. Do you continue? Are you
On
going to
this
continue
side.
bopping?
Well,
Well.
we're bopping to Mexico. That is going
That's
to
the
be
thing.
the permanent
Yeah.
permanent bop, and we're excited to be heading out there in a few months
Yeah.
permanently. But we will still be back and forth between Mexico and the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know, how did you guys find me? Because I actually don't remember.
So
If you remember.
yeah, so I remember that we started looking at moving to Mexico, and I think that you were a part of a Move to Mexico symposium that they had online. I can't remember the name of.
Redefining life abroad.
Yes, yes.
We did that.
And so we found out about you through that, and we're like, wait, she's based in San Miguel, which is right where we're trying to head.
Yeah,
So
right?
we're like, okay, we want to get advice from you, and so we reached out to you,
Mhm.
and then you took us on as a private client. We had consultation with you, and you helped us to kind of structure everything that has led to us being able to be at the point that we're at right now.
Right. So prior to meeting me, what was your financial life like? What were things for you? How were they set up?
Yeah, it was a little bit shaky, a little bit disorganized,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
We had newly moved into the tech space, and we're trying to kind of figure out what our next moves were,
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how we were going to make it all happen in order to move to Mexico.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think previous to we came in, especially when we moved here, we came in around the time of the pandemic. And so we were both just basically doing kind of just jobs, you know. We hadn't really pivoted yet into tech or anything like that. And so
Oh.
yeah, we haven't always been in tech.
Okay.
So this was a pivot around the pandemic. We decided to change our career path. And so even prior to that, even before we moved here, I think we always were, we made ends meet, you know, let's put it that way.
Mhm.
We manage. I'm typically the one that does all the finances and things like that, but we kind of, you know, we didn't have a lot of money all the time, or, you know, things like that. So when we got here, we just kind of had like our basic jobs that, you know, when we first moved, we lived with my family. So we we worked really hard to get jobs so that we could like move out, and we did all that, but we just kind of managed, but we weren't necessarily abundant in that way. And so that's why we knew we didn't want to be in debt in jobs.
Okay.
We wanted to change our financial status, and so we didn't want to struggle anymore, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, we made some big pivots, and one of those was, you know, having Dara be able to go through the UX boot camp first. So she made the big leap while I worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to talk quite a lot about UX. You want to just kind of briefly tell us what that is? And was it a tough switch for you going from whatever you're doing before until to the UX bootcamp?
So UX stands for user experience design, and so we know that in building mobile apps and websites, we know that software engineers code it and build it.
Mhm.
We are the people who provide the software engineers with the blueprint for what they're going to build. So we're the designers that design it, and it's a lot more than visual design. There's a lot of research that goes behind it, a lot of usability testing, and kind of looking at market trends and looking at what the users' pain points are and what their needs and challenges are, and designing to solve a problem that a user is having.
Got it. All right.
So yeah, that's what we do. So we design mobile apps, websites, point of sale apps, things like that. So digital products.
So I imagine going from whatever you were doing before, was that a pretty big jump in salary, or?
Yes, it was. It was a pretty big jump in salary. I mean, I never really made anything too much. I'll say that a long time before that, I was working in occupational safety as a safety manager. So I was doing well for myself. But in moving from Canada to the States, there's a reset that happens, and I would have had to do all kinds of training to get back into occupational safety. And by that time, I was burnt out from safety. I had worked on oil rigs, I had worked on cruise ships, I had worked, managing the safety of 2 Unilever plants in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was great, but I was over it by that time, but I did not know what I wanted to do next.
Yeah.
We found out about tech as we started thinking, hey, we wanted to work in a way that was location independent.
Mm-hmm.
Came into tech and was researching tech careers. Angie found out about UX design. I was like, this is perfect. We're both creatives. This is right up our alley. And so that's where we decided to kind of head off to.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What made the jump into tech? What were you doing before? I mean, the oil rig stuff, or?
So I was working in occupational safety, and then Angie.
I mostly did administrative work.
And so what made you say, all right, time to jump into
Well, I think looking for, like I said, we're both creative. And I think, like, for me, I always just did jobs to make the paycheck, to make the ends meet, right? But I always was creative.
Yeah.
And I think that I've always liked tech in general. So originally, at first, we were looking into coding at first, to be software developers. We tried to go down that route. We're like, nope. And then when we found out about UX, because it combined, the creativity as far as designing visually, but also the user experience, that felt right up the alley, So I've always been interested in tech in some kind of way, but yeah, I was just doing administrative work, and I just kept doing it. It wasn't that I was so bad at it, but it just wasn't what I wanted. It was kind of dead end career-wise. So
got it.
Mm-hmm.
So different career, new opportunities, new money. What made you decide to, start really taking a look at it? And what was it for you prior to? You said you didn't make a bunch of money, but were you thinking long term about saving money and investing and things like that?
Yeah, so no, we had never been exposed to investing. It was something that I had been interested in, but I didn't know enough about it. And, it's one of those things, you go down these YouTube rabbit holes and you don't know who's giving sound advice from who isn't.
Yeah.
And so when we came across you and we're like, okay, this is another Black woman. This is somebody who's been successful in investing. We'd love to kind of learn how to make our money work for us instead of us working so hard for it.
Yep.
And so we just wanted somebody that we could relate to, who could understand a bit of where we were coming from, to lead us and guide us in that direction. So, yeah.
So coming up, I mean, I know you didn't have it in your adult life, or at least at that point, you didn't have the money, but in your coming up, as you were being raised, was money ever a topic in your household?
Yeah, I remember, we growing up in my household, we made ends meet, but there never really seemed to be anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't really, my parents would meet weekly to go over the budget, but it seemed to be more based around making sure all the bills were paid. So that was kind of where we came from. So growing up, I didn't hear anything about investing, stocks, bonds, 401ks. I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah, the same. I think it was, I guess I grew up in New York, and so I lived in the projects, so, we, the same thing, we kind of just made ends meet in that way. And then at some point, my parents split, and then my mom was a single mom.
Okay.
So, we live with family, my mom was working and trying to support 2 kids. So yeah, there was no, anything talking about investing or saving. It was just really the kind of like the 9 to 5 working, put a roof over the head
Understood.
type of thing.
I just want to say hello to Lisa Marie Travels. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And for everyone else that's here, come on in, say hello to us, have a seat, get ready to take a gander at what's going on for their situation, and have your questions ready. We're going to help you a little bit, hopefully on tech, and hopefully with your finances, okay? So Lisa, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And guys, let me know, can you hear me well? Is everything okay? Because I had some technical issues earlier. So let me know. Can you tell me if you guys can hear us well, and if we can be seen well? I'm just trying to make sure I don't go through this whole thing and none of this is getting out there.
Right.
Anyway, hopefully we are. If not, no worries. So you say you were able to make ends meet. So does that mean you were a good budgeter?
What you mean, us together as a couple, or you mean growing up in?
Oh, together as a couple.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Yeah. Either way.
Yeah, well, Angie has handled most of the finances. Well, first of all, I'll say that I was coming in as an immigrant to this country, and so the first 2 years our focus was getting me my permanent residency,
Okay.
and it was a 2-year process. We had to kind of piecemeal pay for it in steps,
Yeah.
in order to go through the immigration process.
Okay.
So for the first 2 years of our marriage, I wasn't legally able to work. So Angie, all of the finances fell on Ange, and she did a great job making, a lot less money than what she makes now, keeping a roof over our head. We never went hungry. And sometimes we'd have to kind of negotiate paying half the phone bill here now,
Okay.
and the other half in a couple of weeks. But Angie always managed to kind of piece it together. So, yeah.
So in doing that, did you guys, knowing that you were struggling, not necessarily struggling, but just kind of figuring it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other goals, money goals, financial goals, beyond just making it work?
Not
No.
specifically. We I think it was more like we knew we didn't want to be in that situation, and trying to figure out how do we become more abundant and have pulling more financial stability and to not be in a struggle place all the time. I think it felt like just being in a place of scarcity all the time, and having to figure out how we're going to change that, but not really necessarily knowing how. Maybe.
But that was that rolled the ball on the conversations around what would it look like for us to have an abundant life.
Okay.
Angie mentioned, hey, I want us to travel, and I was like, the first thing I said was, okay, if you want to travel, and we need to make money while we're traveling, so we need to think of jobs that we can do from our computers, that we can do from any location, that will allow us to make money anywhere we want, because we're doing life together. You say my wife says she wants to travel. I want us to have that, right? So how can we do that? And so that got us into looking. At first we were thinking about being virtual assistants. Then we started thinking about tech, and that's how we got to where we were. But I think that at the time, we were so busy outing the fires of today, making sure this bill was paid, that bill was paid, that it makes it very hard to think long term about long-term goals. We were just trying to make sure that the rent for the next month was paid.
So was either one of you leading the charge and saying we got to get these finances together, or some kind of way organically did you decide together we need to do this?
I think we spoke together, but I will say I think that Dara is very much the visionary of thinking ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. She's very
Okay.
So we have our superpowers.
Yes. That one was not yours.
That's not mine.
Okay.
She is more of the long-term thinker, and I'm more the immediate thinker. And sometimes it serves itself. It can go different. It has its purpose sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't serve us. Okay. But she's more the one that I think can think ahead. Point in case, when she met me, I had a raggedy PC, you know, we were about to do design, and she's like, "Girl, you need an Apple computer." And I was like, "An Apple computer?" I was like, "That's a lot of money." She's like, "Look, I'm gonna save." And this girl chinched away.
Okay.
And got me my first Apple computer. So that's the way that she thinks compared to kind of how
I will save. Listen. I will put away $1 here, $5 here. Da, 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 da. If I have a goal in mind, like her computer was on the fritz. I was like, no, I'm tired of her struggling with this computer. She needs a proper computer. She's like, oh, and she was looking at little, computers like, oh, let me see what I could get for $400 or $500. That's not a girl. I was like, if you're gonna get a computer,
buy it once and get it over with.
Right. You're not gonna have to turn around and buy another one in the next year or two. Like, get yourself a good computer, get yourself a Mac. It's a lot more expensive, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we did, But yeah, I think we do work well because she takes care of the day-to-day that I am not the least bit interested in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in it because I want to know that we still have a roof over our head, but she's really good at making sure that stuff is sorted out. And I'm more of the daydreamer, so I tend to think of like what's going to happen further down the road. I think it drives you nuts sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's generally where my head resides.
So you said you used to put away $1 here, $5 here, all this kind of stuff. So that was saving, right?
Yeah.
I imagine, right? It was
Yes.
saving.
Yeah.
Okay. So in deciding to make the jump and come to me, what did you expect prior to us meeting?
I didn't really know what to expect other than I expected some really hard truths to be told to us, which I braced myself for.
Yeah.
I expected that after going through it, we would have a much clearer insight into where our money is going and into a better way to funnel it and a way to be more strategic about when and where and how we place our money.
Okay. Lisa Marie says, what a wonderful partnership and balance to each other. So,
Thank you.
You both know your superpowers, right?
Thank you.
So, Dara, you told me what you thought your experience would be. What did you think, Angie?
The same. No, it's not really. I think just some help with, when she was talking, I was thinking about a lot of times, when you're working with money, you always feel like you don't have enough, right? And so you don't think about saving, you don't think about investing, you don't think about those things. And so I think it was trying to figure out, okay, the money that we're working with now, how can it look different?
Okay.
How can we look into our savings? We are older. How can we look into our retirement? And I think just trying to see where the holes and the gaps were and maybe how we were budgeting and what we could move around or do differently or blind spots. I think it was just trying to see something different for us and maybe what we needed another perspective, right, outside of ourselves.
So I'm not going to ask you your age, but you just
You
said
can ask
something.
us.
You gonna tell me?
Yeah. I turned, what am I, 51?
Yeah.
And I'm turning 51 next week, so.
So I asked that only because I hear so many people that are older that maybe they haven't, saved enough or they haven't put money aside in investing, right? They think it's too late for them. So did you ever think that it was too late? Maybe we should just do this and just figure it out later on.
Yeah. I think I didn't know that. Yeah, I did think it was too late because I'm like, okay, if we're 50 and retirement is supposed to be at 65, and we don't want to retire at 60, but if we're going to retire at 60, that means we only have 15 years to get it all together. Yeah. That's not a lot of time to accrue compound interest, like what's going to happen. And so I figured combining investing with trying to make getting into fields of will allow us to make as much money as possible would be would help us. But at first it did feel really daunting. Yeah.
Were you afraid to put your money in?
Well, we didn't have any money before.
I mean,
and then when we did,
let's be fair now.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? Let me say this. Let me kind of answer this. And this will probably, and I don't want to give it away because you'll probably talk to us more about this when we were working with you and things like that, and like kind of the direction we started to take financially when we were working with you. For me, it scared me because I, again, have always lived in a place of scarcity. Mm-hmm. So because even before I met her, I did whatever it was, you know, I did what I needed to do to put a roof over my head. Yeah. And so I didn't do too, like, I wasn't someone that went out and like bought a lot of clothes and did all these things. It was like I was always budgeting just to make sure I had enough. Okay. So that carried into our marriage where, you know, it's like investing money. I was like, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? Or like, because I think it always felt like, well, I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Right. You know, we had gone through our ups and downs of struggles, right? And so it was like, oh, can we spare that? Or are we going to like need that?
Spare that.
Yeah, you know, or
spare that.
Or we didn't know, or we didn't know it was there.
Right. Now, okay, so you didn't know it was there. How did you figure out it was there?
Well,
the money was there.
Through you.
Yeah, but you went through everything.
You went through
I want you to be a little more clear about how you figured out.
Okay, so you told us to write down all of our expenses that we had. Where does all of our money go? You wanted us to track where, I think it was 3 months. Yeah, of how we spent our money.
Yeah.
Right. And we came back to you with that, and you're like, okay, well, you can find money. And you found, what was it, like 2,000 something? Like you found money. You found money.
I found some money.
You found some money. She found some money, and I was like, oh. And then of course you're seeing it, and you're seeing where you're spending that is just like, oh, we let all that just evaporate into the ether, like. But now we have proof that wait, there's money here that can be invested, and so you went through that with a fine-tooth comb. You sure did. So,
you know, most times I hear people say, oh, we don't have enough money to invest. I don't have enough money. And you actually probably do. It's just what you're doing with your money, right? So you really need to take a good look at where your money is going. So when I meet with people on an individual basis, I have them go through either 2 or 3 months of their most recent expenses and their bank statements, right? The reason I do that is because your bank statements ain't gonna lie, right? They're going to tell you what you've been spending your money on and what your habits are, okay? And so, unfortunately, quite often people don't know that they're, you know, this thing that they do every week. Oh, it's just that little thing. That little thing adds up, right? And when you start seeing where your money is actually going, then you've got to make the decision. Once you see that small amount or that large amount, then you have to decide what's most important to me. And I think that we had a moment for you guys where you had to decide, you know, if something was more important for you, right? I understand that some things can be conveniences for us, but some of those conveniences of today can make you end up working longer than you want to, or not being able to afford to do something that you want to do in your later years or in the times of an emergency. So you guys had a moment like that, and you made a great decision. Now Dara jumps right on things. Once we found that amount of money, you know, I gave them a plan. They went on. I'm sorry, I gave them suggestions. I did not give them a plan. All right. So we went through all that stuff, and you guys went off on your own and just started figuring out what you were going to do. But you guys came back pretty aggressively. What made you do what you did and make the decisions you did for the monies you had allotted?
Well, honestly, the fickleness of the tech job market, knowing that just because you have a high-paying job today doesn't mean that you'll have that tomorrow, and we'll get into that with you a little bit later on again, because that kind of speaks to where we are right now. Okay. But yeah, I just figured that while it's here, let's throw as much disposable income into investing as possible. You know, so we opened a couple of brokerage accounts. You started our 401, our Roth IRAs, sorry, and and we just wanted to, while we had it, just do it. And there were things that were going on at the same time. I hadn't seen my mother in 10 years, and we had already committed that we were going home that December to see my mom before she walked across water and dragged me back to Trinidad, right? So we went home. We were able to save and put away to go to Trinidad, as well as start these investments, and then we had a trip to Mexico to finish our residency, right? So those were 2 big trips in the span of 3 months, but still putting away and investing during that time frame.
So in the time frame, then you were not denying yourself of things. It sounds like to me.
No. I think that what it was a reprioritizing of what exactly it means to want something and what it means to feel like I'm denying myself of something. You know, I didn't feel like I was denied of anything. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, we changed. You know, when we found out, you know, where certain money was going, which was our eating out habits. You know, we got right on that, and we have continued to stay on top of that. And that was, you know, one of the things we talked about, you know, what trips were going to be major and what we wanted to focus on. And we weren't taking little trips and going to a lot of events or doing certain things. We started to prioritize what was important as far as, you know, doing particular things. And so in that year, of course, you know, like you said, it was, you know, the trip to Trinidad and then planning for our residency. And, you know, we did like maybe you know, I have a new nephew and I know that I'm leaving. So, you know, we had a family trip and stuff like that. But other than that, we kept really disciplined about what we did.
Yeah.
So you're disciplined, you reprioritize things for yourself. Did you at any point feel bare, like I don't want to share these things, or to really get to the numbers that you needed to get to?
Wait, when you say bare, like
just sharing information with someone like that you had just met, really, and how that person, me, made you feel in doing that.
Oh no! I came into this knowing that, look, we about to be humbled. We're about to hear some truths, and I came into this. I think we both came into this just kind of feeling like we're here to learn, right? And that is going to require a level of vulnerability within us and a level of honesty. Like if we honestly want your help, we have to be willing to be really honest with you about where we are. I had to get real honest with you about the amount of times I was on Grubhub, and you know, it was a problem. It was a problem. I think Dee had a mini conniption when she saw how many times I would. Yeah, it was bad. So, but that was fine. Like, I don't listen. My back is broad. I could you listen. You could dish it out. Just tell me what it is, and I'll be like, my bad, but I'm not going to try and hide it from you because that's not going to help us in the long run, right?
So after the first consultation, was that enough for you guys to get going, or what happened?
Well, it was enough to get going, but then you were offering the group
coaching
session, and we decided because now we both wanted to do it. But then in honor of everything that you had taught us, we're like, okay, no, one of us will do it, and we'll spearhead taking that information and doing what we need to do for our family afterwards. So that way, the other money that we would have spent went into investing, right? So I did the group coaching, and it was great. It was
really
great. It was fun.
Tell me more.
It was great because, you know, it was a small group of women who look like me, who are all coming from different walks of life and who had different ideas about what investing would mean for them. And you know, it was just great to hear what ideas they had, and then for all of us to get advice. And because it was a group session, people asked questions that I didn't even think about asking, and so I learned from those questions as well. So yeah, it was great.
It was actually a good group of folks. If you guys don't know, I'm going to go ahead and shamelessly plug right now. Next week, I will be launching my first course. So this is a self-paced course, right? But it is a ton, not a ton. It is called 21 Days to Fearless Investing. And in it, you get video direction from me, talking you through the process. I named it 21 Days to Fearless Investing, but it doesn't really take 21 days. I just gave people enough time to kind of step themselves through it and not get overwhelmed with anything. I'm actually pretty proud of it because I put a lot into this course. I want people to be able to invest, and I want people that look like me to be able to bring their money up, right? It's important for us, especially in these times. We do not know what's going to happen for any of us, whether that is work or whether it is people that have been supporting you within your family. We have no idea what's going to happen. We don't know if services are going to be there or if our governments will be able to help us out, right? So we have to put our own selves in a position where we can take care of ourselves no matter what. And while you're doing whatever it is you're doing, I think you need to decide where your money goes, and for your money to be able to work harder for you than you're going to work for it, right? While I'm sitting here talking to you, I want your money working, right? And so that is my whole goal in putting the course out. Not everybody's going to be able to meet with me individually, right? And I'm not going to just continue to have group coaching sessions. So I want people to have some resource to be able to, grab that thing, sit down, and be in a community of people. I'll be starting a community as well. It is Brown Girls Wealth Circle, right? In that community of people, just like Dara mentioned, you have other people there that will be asked the question that maybe you didn't think to ask, or maybe they have a particular situation at their work. All those things, that helps to further you on, to push that next person to be able to hit the buttons, find the additional money, all that. So look for that to be coming out next week. And by the way, there's I've got an early bird special going on right now. The course is going to be $197, but early bird special is $147. So you guys went through individual coaching with me, and then you went on to the group coaching, right? That started, if I'm not mistaken, in either November or December, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably December, I think. I think it was December.
Yeah, beginning of December, yeah.
So what results have you seen since that time coming in? I don't think either of you had really invested. What results have you seen from those two experiences?
Well, we started investing. We learned more about stocks like ETFs. We learned about Roth IRAs, the difference between a Roth IRA, 401k, and we just had the knowledge and came out of it with the confidence to actually pull the trigger and purchase our first investments. Open our brokerage accounts and make our first investments. So I think it's something that if you don't grow up investing, it's very intimidating to make that first purchase. You don't want to make the wrong choice. It's money, but I came out of it feeling very confident.
I just want to say this real quickly. Thriving on enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. I see there's other people here. If you guys come on in, say hello to us. Give us some energy. If you've got questions, if there's something we're not clear on, go ahead. It's okay to ask. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're coming from. And maybe if you have, you can ask questions. Maybe we won't go so deep, but you may be able to get some answers here tonight. All right. So since then, do you see any result? I mean, right now, when I say result, do you have a cushion at this point?
So we do have a small cushion. I will. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Barring other circumstances.
Right.
Are you in a different place, a better place than you would have been had you not done it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely changed our mindset, and we know moving forward, as we get money in, that a portion that paying ourselves first is the not just paying ourselves, but like investing in ourselves first is the main priority. Everything else can happen after that, but like investing in ourselves has to be what's done first, because it will allow us to do so many more things later on down the line. Yeah.
Okay, and on those so many more things, do you have any more things that you're doing now?
Yeah. So life has been lifing, and we have started a design studio called Root and Render Design Studio. It's a design subscription studio. We're a boutique studio. We have just launched, and so the past few months we've been busy getting to this point. I will say that in the course of this, I was laid off from my last role, right? Right before we came to Mexico in February, and we decided, when I was laid off, Angie started her new role.
Okay.
And so we decided, let me use this time right now to get Root and Render up off the ground, while I continue to look for my next role, my next full-time role as a UX designer, because.
And that was a huge blow for us.
Yeah, it was.
It was a significant blow for us, and I think that's what we've been trying to work through over the years. It's like sometimes never aligning at the same time, where we feel like we're in abundance together sometimes. And so, we had that period where she had it was a really great contract. And at that time I was working on like my own personal business as well. It allowed me to like, as an illustrator, do some like freelance work and things like that. And so, it did allow us to have the ability to invest and to put away the money, and then all of a sudden that happened. And so that was we are already going to Mexico, and so it was a pretty big setback for us. But right around the time, like you said, when she lost it, I came up with an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm kind of working now. But it definitely set us on a whole different path, and there's still a lot of work to do. Because it was such a big blow, and I make more now than I have in my whole life.
Yeah, you.
I make double, but yet still, and the truth of the honesty is still, we still need more. I mean, living in this U.S. life in this capitalistic place, it takes it all, and so we're still having to figure out, what to do and what the next move. So it has pitched us and launched us into things like, I'm working currently, but also, it allowed her now to invest in helping to start building our studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out, so one thing ended for you guys. You had another opportunity, but you had also built up a bit of a cushion. Because had you not changed your habits months before, now you don't even have the cushion.
Yes, yes, very much so.
So those things all work in your favor, and seeing what you guys are doing and knowing what I know about you, this is temporary. I hope it's that your new project jumps off sooner rather than later. I just want to make sure I got this. It is Root and Render. What is the rest?
So it's Root and Render Design Studio. So it's the website is rootandrenderdesign.studio, and we're a design subscription studio offering UX, branding, and digital illustration. So we do everything from designing mobile apps and websites to doing logos and whole digital illustrations. So we consider ourselves visual storytellers.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Okay.
So either telling the story of your product or the story of the message that you're trying to get out to a particular group. And we use our UX methodology and expertise in order to specifically target visual messaging that will resonate with your intended clientele.
Who is your intended clientele?
So we work primarily with established B2Bs as well as with up and coming startups who are in the tech space, who are looking for regular design work to bring their digital products to life. They have ideas, and we actually bring those ideas to life for them.
Right. I recently spoke with you, and I think you've got some projects, some side projects within that, correct?
Correct.
And how soon before those are ready for you?
So aside from being a UX designer, I'm also studying for a pivot into cybersecurity. Not a pivot, but I'm stacking my tech skills, right? And so
Give me all the tech.
So I want to. I'm also delving into cloud security engineering, and so with that, I am creating a digital product with notes for people who are also, like myself, pivoting into cybersecurity. And so working on 2 levels of these notes that I'll be offering as digital products in the next coming weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're 2 Black women in tech. Is this tough?
It's tough, but you know what? No, anything is tough.
Okay.
I think what is tougher is working in dead end jobs that we
come on
that don't feed our souls, that don't like utilize the best of who we are. But I feel now we are working with our talents, and we're working with the level of expertise and the thought leadership that we have around those areas. So it's not easy, but it feels good to be doing this rather than kind of the work that we were doing before.
Okay. And so, if you guys don't know, I used to be a long-range planning engineer for AT&T. So I built the infrastructure for most things tech. Okay, what they do, I don't understand. Right? I just provide the thing for it to work, or I used to it. Do you have any advice for people that would want to pivot into something that like what you're doing?
Definitely.
Yeah, they're heavy hitters. First of all, I'm going to say hey to Black Flourishing Free. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. And this is Stephanie from Thriving on Enough. She says you guys are heavy hitters.
Oh wow, Stephanie, thank you. That is awesome. Thank you.
And Lisa says, Lisa Marie Travels. And by the way, this is my buddy. This is a new channel for you guys, for her. On YouTube. She's a heavy hitter over there on TT. I can't say
check out her channel.
Anyway, check her out there, but I want you guys to also check everybody out that I'm mentioning. Lisa Marie Travels, she has a YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe to her channel. She's got wonderful travel. She drove across Mexico. She's traveled all over the place, and she's early retired and loving her life right now. So check her out. Also, Thriving on Enough. Stephanie teaches people how to live sustainably. I hope I got that right. She got 27 channels. I'm kidding. No, and Black Flourishing and Free. She is a psychoanalyst that keeps quite a lot of people sane. Who else do we have here? I don't see anybody else. Anyway, I see you guys watching me. Come out of that back room. Come in here and say hey to me. Anyway. All right, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you said for people that maybe want to do something like this, is this viable for them right now?
It is absolutely viable right now. I think there's no better time. I think we are very much interested in seeing particularly Black women being able to build the lives that they want for themselves.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work, and sometimes there's setbacks. As you see, I was laid off, but like the plan never stops. The planning never stops. And being able to kind of have a cushion is enabling us to have the breathing room to dream and the breathing room to think. And specifically for people who are interested in tech, we're also going to be launching a tech membership group for people who want to pivot into all areas of tech. I know a thing or two about pivoting. Angie knows a thing or two about pivoting. And we've explored a lot of different areas of tech. And so we have a lot of resources that we can share with people. And we're going to be launching that pretty soon. And I'm going to kind of announce it on my TikTok when as soon as the membership community is ready for people to join. So we will provide a way.
Yeah, I think, do your research, even for us now in tech, the tech world is a world that changes very, very quickly.
Yep.
So that's something to really keep in mind, that, us being UX designers. I mean, it's still here. It's it has its thrive points, but it also is having a hard time too as well. If you're working for companies and things like that, and so it's like kind of figuring out the trends of what's going on in tech, and tech is a place where you constantly pivot.
Yeah.
So she doing UX design, she's like, I'm getting cybersecurity because we're thinking long term about not only where we would thrive in talent, but where we're going to make money, right? And where we're going to have visibility and where we're going to be at in order to make that impact as well. But like even now, we're in the era of AI. So
there you go.
So
This
it's
is
like
where I'm going next, actually.
So and I think sometimes we get caught up in, and there's nothing wrong with it. We get caught up in do what you love. That there is no shame to game to that at all. But at the same time, it's still keeping your head to like, but what is the trend right now, and where do you need to go? Where do you need to stack your skills? And do I have the ability to pivot into learning those skills? You can have multiple if you want to.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just we did our research. Like I said, we started in software development. We're like, nope, that ain't our aptitude. That's not what we're doing.
Right.
We knew that UX design, worked with us, and then we just keep pivoting. So,
yeah.
So I'll say this. Listen, you guys know I am a long-term investor and long-time and long-term investor. I also trade, right? So I'm not suggesting that for anyone. I'm just telling you what I do. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because I keep up with tech companies often because I am trading them.
Right.
If you do not know, recent legislation or non-legislation is going to, there's nothing holding AI back for the next 10 years. There is no regulation on AI, right? That means that companies will be able to do whatever they want to do for the next 10 years. And if those next 10 years means I can save my money on my bottom line by reducing my workforce and using AI to do the jobs of those people, that's what I'm going to do, right? So it is in your best interest if you take people like this that are going to be able to teach you and share the notes, purchase the notes from them, right? And to help them, help you move on to your next pivot, right? The companies that are moving now are tech companies. They are not moving for no reason. Meta today went up, anyway, Meta shot up today like $83. They beat their earnings, okay? Part of the reason they were able to do this is because of what they're doing with AI. And they're also, I don't want to lie about this, I just want to make sure I'm saying this properly. They are looking for tech people and they are paying them. You ready?
Yeah.
$100 million. I did not make that up. Go and look it up. This is how much they're paying people to move tech forward, right? If they're going to pay someone that much money, they're doing it for a reason. You've got to put yourself in a position financially and with your education to keep being able to provide for yourself.
Right. And the thing with tech is that, people are like, okay, well, is AI going to replace my job? Like, I'll say this. Okay, remember a couple of years ago, coal miners were all excited because, their dear leader was supposed to bring coal back, right? Not understanding that coal is a finite. Not understanding that coal is a finite resource in the earth, and there's nothing that anybody can do to make it magically appear again to that state. So what I would say to that is take a page from their book. They could, if they're interested in working in resources, train to pivot into like where energy is going now. We're talking about sustainable energy. We're talking about wind and solar and this and that. Rather than being beholden to, I want to remain in coal. So what I would say where AI is concerned, everybody's afraid of AI and it is concerning to a certain extent. But I've also heard it said that AI won't replace you, but people who use AI in their work will replace those who don't. So it's incumbent upon people, no matter what their work is, to find out, to research the ways that AI, how they can use AI in the work that they do,
Okay.
and becoming, and becoming like really learned in how to apply AI to what they do. Not everybody has to be an AI engineer, but it is getting to the place where you're going to need to learn about AI to do what you do. So for UX design right now, we have to focus on learning how to incorporate UI into creating the wireframes and the prototype, AI into the wireframes and prototypes that we do, right? For cybersecurity, I am learning about AI and how to use it to create scripts for the lower level of what we are, of what we're doing, so that we can like scan for malware and all these kinds of things, right? So it's about thinking about how AI is used in your industry and learning how to use it in that way, so that you keep up and you're not rolled over by this AI behemoth that we have going on.
Right. What do you see for yourself with your business? Well, both lanes. Financially, what do you see for yourself, say, in the next? I'm gonna just make it just a year, because tech moves so quickly. And then, what do you see for yourself with your business?
I always be making her speak first.
I'm like, I'm doing all the speaking here. I was sit back. You go ahead.
Well, don't act like you don't like speaking now. Wait a minute.
I mean, I think it's always been the goal to work for ourselves. And so, I currently work for a company now, and I want to see myself leave. I want to see myself, I think I've worked in points in my life where it's like you get laid off or you transition to something else, but I want to be able to pivot, to come out of this and be able to work fully in the studio, instead of, working for someone else.
Exactly. You guys are not building, well, temporarily right now, you're helping to build someone else's dream, but you're also taking it on yourself to do your side projects, right? And build your own wealth, build your own thing where you don't have to depend on anyone or any company, right? So I think that's great. I really do. I really do. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, pretty much the same is, also focusing on creating passive income, such as through investing, as well as through like digital products, but digital products not just for the sake of having a digital product, but digital products that actually help people. I'm very passionate about seeing more Black people, more people that look like me in tech, because if we're not in the room when these things are being designed, when they're being built, and when they're being implemented, then these companies are missing out on whole groups of people that they could be servicing. And then products come out that really don't serve us. I mean, a simple example is you go into a public bathroom and you put your hand under the automatic sensor. And why is it that for Black hands, it takes 2 or 3 pushes under the automatic sensor to get the water to even turn on? That's because when they were designing the product, right, nobody in the room who was testing the product had
Go give
skin
me
color
somebody
that
with a
looked
different
like
color.
that, right? So the sensors literally do not read dark skin, right? So it's simple things like that. And so that's why, whether it's design, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's engineering, we need more people in tech. So if you're so inclined, please, look into it. You can reach out to us. I haven't worked in every area of tech, but I can put you on to people who have, and just find out about it. We need more of us in the room.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned, I'm sorry, I heard something earlier. You just actually said it about your investments, right? Not your investments in your own business, but in other businesses. How did you decide, or how do you decide? You don't have to lay it out. Don't lay it out, as a matter of fact. But give me a general idea of how you decided what you wanted to be invested in.
What are we talking? We're talking business-wise, or we're talking
all of the above.
Okay.
1 second, I want to get this in here again. If you guys want to contact them, they are at Root and Render
Design.
Design.
Studio.
I'm sorry, I don't have this ready. I got dot studio. Yep. Okay. Root and Render Design dot studio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. We just wanted to make sure that we have worked hard our whole lives to make other people rich, and quite frankly, we're tired of it. And we just decided that we want our money to work harder for us than we have to work for it.
Yeah.
And we would love to be able to close our eyes and sleep knowing that money is working for us while we're sleeping. And so being able to invest in stocks, ETFs, being able to create digital products that will create residual income, setting up our design studio as a subscription model, so that we have clients who trust us enough to put us on retainer. Those are all ways that we can kind of, ensure a little bit of longevity with the money that we bring in.
So you just mentioned something. You mentioned your digital products and having those kind of things. You also mentioned being able to make more money. You make money during the day. You build wealth at night.
Mm-hmm.
While you're sleeping, your money working harder for you than you ever gonna be able to make of it. Right? That is how you do it. Earn the money, put it somewhere that it's gonna grow in value, and take your butt to sleep. Because when you wake up, you're gonna have more money. And that's the way it works. I didn't make that up. That is actually how you actually build wealth. Right.
Right.
Let me put this up here. I should have. Oh, look at me. What? So I've been putting this in the comments. This is how you can reach them. Root and Render Design.studio. All right. Get it out of here. So going forward, I mean, I understand that things have shifted for you a bit. As things change, as your business starts to pay dividends for you, do you see yourself continuing on building, putting money aside to be built for you, or are you just going to rely on your business to bring in the money?
No, it's both.
That's right.
It's both. I don't think it has to be either or. It definitely has to be both. Yeah.
What's next?
Moving to Mexico.
What? You guys don't know. I actually, I am in Georgia right now. I have a home here, but I also have an apartment in Mexico. And you guys will be moving. Do you want to share where you're moving? I know you go to Mexico.
Yes.
But
San Miguel de Allende.
Yes.
Have you ever been?
Yes. We went in February.
What happened when you went there?
It was such a great trip. So we went there because we had to finish the second part of our residency.
Yes.
And so we didn't know how long it was going to take. So we took about 3 weeks because we didn't know how fast the process was going to go.
Okay.
It went really quick in the first couple of days. And we were like, oh, we got a lot of time. And
what did you do with your time?
we hung out, we started, feeling like we're trying to be locals in there. We did our shopping. We met with the local community. Which we met as a part of, because we hadn't met her in person yet. So we got to meet her in person and some of the others in the community, and just got, it was just fun meeting people and just kind of like being able to look around and see, we got to do like some housing tour and just get a lay of the land and get a feel about how it would be to be there and how it would be to navigate and just a feeling. And it was just so, there's nothing like leaving here. And when we were there,
but I ain't deny it.
Leaving here and going there was just like, I feel like we just got to breathe deeper.
Yeah.
Dream bigger. You have something to look forward to, and it's just, it made it really hard to come back because we just felt like, okay, we gotta get on it,
But wait a minute. First of all, how did you make it back? Did nobody grab y'all?
Listen, man, we were we had to force ourselves back over here.
it was
But
hard.
you know, we went over there, and it immediately felt like home.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Trinidad is home because my mother and sister are there.
Yeah.
But Mexico is home because Mexico is home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a beautiful place, and the community that you all have built there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thriving Black community
Yeah.
of people such as ourselves who are immigrants there, who are integrating themselves into the local community,
Mm-hmm.
and we just want to be a part of it, as well as just getting in touch with the local Mexican community, and just learning a new way of life and being.
Mm-hmm.
So often I hear people say that Mexicans don't like us, right? Or they don't want us there, or you're going to get stolen by I'm not going to say it,
Yes.
by them boys, right? So what, did you figure out that was a lie?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, well, we're here to tell about it. But no, it was very much, I think, you know what, I think also we have to understand also that Mexican Americans sometimes are very different from those that live in Mexico because of the influence of the U.S. and the kind of thinking that it kind of pits us all against each other in that way. And so we have kind of the skewed view of what Mexican life is and how the people are. And so being there, it was, of course, it was totally different. Everybody was super friendly, super, warm. There was no one looking at us like, they, of course, they could tell we weren't from there, but it wasn't weird. We didn't feel like we had to kind of guard ourselves or anything like that, where you're so living here, you're so aware of being Black, and having to defend that, but being there, it felt much more relaxing, to be there, and we felt very much embraced, and if anything, it was hard. I mean, when we went at the time too, in the area that we had stayed in, yeah, it was just, I don't even want to go in that conversation.
What about, okay, I got you. What about the expense of it? Isn't it expensive it's expensive to go on a vacation. It's got to be expensive to move to another country.
Great with it.
Well, we did great.
Yeah,
we came back with, we had budgeted
Came back
money.
with
We came
money.
back with money.
Oh,
Yes.
So we did great, but
Yeah.
we are also very cognizant of, not wanting to go in there and be like, oh, this place is so cheap. Like, we understand
Yeah.
gentrification. I think that when Black people moved to Mexico, we moved there with a different kind of mentality.
Energy.
We're there to become a part of the community.
yes.
We're not there to take from people.
Mm-hmm.
We're there to exchange with people and to learn and to kind of integrate ourselves into the community,
Mm-hmm.
and to bring the little je ne sais quoi that we bring. But yeah, no, we come there with an attitude that's more like we want to be part and to share, right?
Yes.
And so the people that they have a problem with would be people who come there with
That's why I said I didn't want to get into that combo.
It would be people who come there with an attitude that others are there to serve them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. There are walls they have asked for, and yet they are climbing those walls and going places I don't,
Go on the other side.
right? But hey, neither here nor there. We're there to share, and I think that people recognize that.
Yeah.
And we're really aware of gentrification and all those things, and so we're attempting to move in a way that is sensitive to those issues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I've been asking all these questions. Tell me something you want me to know, or something that we haven't talked about that you be interested in talking about here.
Oh, I do not know.
I don't know. I think that we're just really excited to feel empowered to be making the moves that we're making right now. Meeting with you was a very big part of that, so thank you for that. And that if anybody is thinking about working with Dee as a consultant, I can tell you that It's a good move to make. Please reach out to Dee. Dee knows her stuff, and she's not going to steer you wrong. She's not going to steer you wrong. She wants the best for everybody that looks like her, and so she gives sound advice. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think too we would have never probably imagined ourselves where we are. Even though we have our struggles, I don't think we would have dreamed that we would have been in the career path that we were in. I don't think we would have dreamed that we would have been making this move abroad, and that I don't think that we knew that we could do that. And so it's been really amazing to watch ourselves step by step take these strides. Like I said, it hasn't necessarily been easy, but it's been beautiful to look at the progress and to think about where we were some years ago and when we first even got married to now. It's like leaps and bounds, and so I think that's, if that's helpful to people, I hope it is. I hope that, what we've been talking about and is coming across as relatable, and that there's, we have our talents and we are who we are, but we're not so much more extraordinary than anybody else. We're just making the right decisions and getting the right help.
Making the right decisions. I like that. I like that. I do. You guys' background is similar to mine. I don't know if you guys know, I did not come up with money at all. I can remember being in, I'm from Chicago originally, so it's pretty cold there. We went long stretches of time with no gas, right? And, my mother, raised us by herself. We lost our father pretty early, so she had to do that. She had odd jobs, right? So I did not come up with these people teaching me or talking about money. If we talked about anything, it was the lack of it, right? And so that's partially why I do what I do. I want people to not have to experience things like that. I don't want kids to have to go through some of the things that I went with. My mother was very resourceful. That's the first thing. But if there's no resources in these days, then you've got to make your own resources. And the way you do that is by putting your money into things that are going to grow in value. I say this all the time. It is not in the meal that you had, right? That you continue to have. Those meals are going to delay something else in your life. Those meals are possibly going to not allow you to take care of an emergency. And I'm not just mentioning meals. I mean the purses, the shoes, right? All those things. You've got to make different decisions about where you put your money so that that money later on can take care of you or provide you with some, it reduces friction, right? That's my deal. And I am very passionate about helping other people get to a point where they're not struggling, right? So you please don't think that you got to have a ton of money to do this. They've just told you. You do not have to have a ton of money to do it. Neither did I. You start with small amounts of money, and that builds upon itself, right? Make money in the day, grow wealthy at night. That's what you should do. You guys are hopefully going to be able to make it to Mexico pretty soon. And I hope that, the services that you're offering to people will, I don't like that this is coming up with my picture and it's your company. But anyways, please visit their site. It's rootandrenderdesign.studio. Is there any other way that they can reach you? How are you guys on the socials? Do you have anything? Let us know.
Yeah. So you want
Oh, yes.
Instagram?
Oh, we have Root and Render. So we're on Instagram, and then we have a LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And I have a TikTok page, Dara Stays Curious. That's dara.stays.curious, where I talk about all things design, tech, and cybersecurity on there. And so you can follow my journey as I learn about cybersecurity and talk about what it's like to bootstrap running our own design firm, and how I got into UX. See me designing a few things. So yeah.
I'm sorry, it was Dara.stays.curious.
Yeah, Dara.stays.curious.
And that's on TikTok?
That's on TikTok.
Right. Get on over there, y'all. I'm on TikTok too. I'm doing the silly things. I do the silly things to reach you so you can come take care of the serious things. So check them out over there. Go ahead and follow her, follow them on everything that they mentioned. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys want to, anything other that you would like them to know about your business or about your experience or anything like that, you can go. If you guys have any questions, all y'all sitting in the back for some reason, there's people in here that not see anything. It's okay. If you're learning, great. Right? Maybe you're shy. Maybe you need to ask a question later. Whatever you do, reach out to us. Join all the things. You can visit me at browngirlsinvest2.com. Again, I have 21 days to Fearless Investing that will be coming out next week. People are pre-ordering this week to get the reduced price. It is a self-paced video form where you're getting instruction from me throughout the videos, throughout the modules. You'll also be placed in my school community. That is Brown Girls Wealth Circle. Wealth Circle, right? I don't ever want to be rich. Being rich means it can be taken away from you.
Right.
Wealth cannot be taken away. Right? It is about assets. And so I want to help you guys build your assets, be able to put money aside for yourself so that you can do the things you want to do in your life, whether that is moving abroad, whether it is retiring, whether it is sending your child off to some camp, whatever it is. You've got to have money to be able to do those things. And the only way you can do that is if you're beating the things that would suck your money away, right? You do that through investing. So, and for you guys, anything else?
Oh, that's it. Just thank you so much for having us on. And once again, we really appreciated working with you, and we're appreciating, honestly, just getting to know you. Dee's such a cool person, y'all. And we're so glad to be able to consider her amongst our friends.
I think we're gonna stay on a little longer. Go on.
No, she's really dope. And,
hey, AJ, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. I really do. AJ's whisper.
Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you so much. No, we do. We really appreciate everything that you've taught us and that we're continuing to implement. And yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. How all these folks just all of a sudden got something to say? Hey, Profit Mother, thank you so much for joining. You in the back, get up out the back, come say something to me. Don't do that to me. You learned a lot. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. And listen, again, the people that come in here, they do things, right? I mentioned to you earlier. I don't know if she's still here, but. Okay, I'm sorry. So now I do want to shout people out again. I'm not sure if she's still here, but Black Flourishing and Free was here. She is a psychotherapist. I also know that Profit Mother is where'd she go? There you go. She's also I think you're a psychotherapist too, right? Yeah, I believe you are. And if nothing else, she's going to help you get the meditations for your next chapter.
Nice.
All right. Olinka, follow her. Find her. I don't care. Follow them wherever they are in the socials, all right? Yes, you are. There you go. Cool. So, again, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. I hope that you learned something. Look out for my course that will be coming out next week. Try and get it early because I'm raising the price, y'all. I swear to God. I'm giving you the good stuff. I'm giving you what's going to help you. Yes, I'm giving you what is going to help you get past being fearful about investing. There's nothing wrong with investing. You've got to do it to be able to put yourself in a better financial situation. And follow these two here. Where are you? Right there. It's not them, but that is their company, Root and Render Design .studio, and follow Dara over on TikTok. All right? Anything else? Let me tell y'all what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to go eat some curry.
About to eat some curry.
I'm about to do the real curry. curry, y'all.
Nice Trini curry. We're gonna get. Yeah, I'm gonna heat that up and.
From Trinidad. It'll be my first time having Trinidadian.
Yes.
It'll be my first time having this food. Now the bad thing is, they like me now, but once I get done eating, they go like, I ain't never had one.
Nah. It's gonna be good.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. You have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.